do what I did was just like a blind race to the top, and the only focal point was like getting to the top, and we have to succeed. It's like you get to the top and it's kind of like it's been built up so much. You get up there and you're like, okay, I'm at the top, like, you know, what do we do now? You know, it's kind of like there's that impending kind of letdown. I mean, I felt that with the SEAL training. I felt that kind of like after poker sessions sometimes. And
Is it kind of like a moving thing, like a false summit in a way? Like
a little bit.
You get up to the top and then you almost, the second that you get up there, you can envision another top.
And also just like the fact that it doesn't feel as good as you thought, right? So you're like, okay, maybe I need to just keep going, or maybe this is, you know, this idea that it's not enough. And I talk about this a lot, like when it comes to pleasure seeking and like hedonistic things, like there isn't an enough. Like there's never enough money, there's never enough girls, there's never enough power, like whatever you're like chasing, if it's kind of like in that hedonistic, to the biblical sense, sin, whatever, like those things are never gonna fulfill you, right? Like that's kind of like a black hole. You can just keep chucking shit in a black hole, that motherfucker's never gonna fill up. You know what I mean? Well, that's the same thing with you. Like if your goal is to like achieve these hedonistic things, there's never gonna be enough. Like I was having sex with 3 girls a day on average, at least, like every day, and I didn't feel like that was enough. I couldn't even like physically have sex with all the girls that want to have sex with me, and I didn't feel like it was like this crazy weird thing, right? Like I definitely had a sex addiction and whatever, but there was like that feeling like it just wasn't enough. And like, and I got to the end of the earth. Like I know I got to the end of this motherfucking road, because like there was like, I couldn't have sex with as many girls as wanted to have sex with me. So there's no further you can go, right? Like that's the definition of excess, and I didn't feel like it was enough. So it's like, I don't think many guys get to the actual end of the road. And, you know, and I would see this with other celebrities too. Like these guys that like had all these girls lined up, whatever, and they were still chasing. They were still like, you know, more.
Yep.
And I saw with the money too, like guys, you know, you look at these fucking guys, they got billions of dollars. Like you can't spend this money. Why are you working? Like, why are you spending your life trying to accumulate more money that you can't spend?
Yeah, like what for? Yeah.
What's the like? It's ego. You know what I mean? It's ego, or it's like, you know, this chase of like I said, man, money is like one of those things where you think it's enough. Like I really believe, and this is like from the bottom of my heart, that if I had $1 million when I was in college, it's like I'm fucking set.
Why do you think people believe that though?
Well, because I thought I was like, I'd have a motorcycle, I'd get some chicks, I could have a Beamer. It's like for me at that time, that was it. Like what else is there? Like I got a Beamer, I got a motorcycle, I got chicks, I could go buy what I want, I could have the new shoes, like, and then you get to that level and you're like, okay, well, you know, now maybe I want a Ferrari, or you know what I mean?
That's interesting, because you get around a different social culture. You know, you like climb the rung, and then you're around somebody with a Maserati, and suddenly you're thinking you've never had this thought before because you're riding a Subaru Legacy or something, like, you know, and you're like, you know what, a Maserati would be really nice. And it's kind of like that false summit, like you're talking about, like it shifts.
There's always higher, man. It's like there's always a bigger boat. There's always like this. There's always that, you know. And then it's like, okay, like. Now, you know, I got to a point where I was like, okay, now I'm not flying commercial anymore. Everywhere we're flying is private. And it's like, now I got to get a jet.
Yeah.
Now this house isn't big enough. You know what I mean? It's like, I got to this point where I was like, I remember distinctly, I'll never forget it. I owned a plane. I had the biggest house in like all of Los Angeles pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I had like, you know, one of the biggest houses in Vegas, like had every car. I bought a Ferrari. I put like 75 miles on the motherfucker in a year. You know what I'm saying? I had all the chicks. I'm on this 300-foot yacht, 27 models, like cutting throats to bang me. And I'm like, damn, like I was happier before surfing with my buddies. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, damn, this is fucked up. I'm like, I got all this stuff. And all I see on the Instagram comments, like, you're the man. Like, I wish you know, fucking what I'd have to do to hang out with you. You know, and everybody I'd see in the streets would be like, dude, you're the fucking man. You know, all this shit. And it's like, I just didn't feel like I had accomplished enough. You know what I mean? Or I didn't feel like it was enough. Or it's just like, I should be happy. You know what I mean? I should be happy. Like, I'm here. Like, everybody's like, wants to be where I'm at. And I'm just like.
I'm wondering with that, like, in this quest for validation, do you think that we lose some of our authenticity? Because we're trying to do what the world tells us to do, what the rest of the world would say, hey, that would be a big thing. But then you're saying,
I think that's part of the social media stuff too. I think social media is like a big cancer. So I think social media has now like pitted us against 8 billion other people.
Yeah.
It's like, you're never going to be good looking enough. You're never going to be rich enough. And not only that, but these motherfuckers are photoshopping their shit on top of it. So it's like, this dude's 6% body fat and he's photoshopping his shoulders to be big and he's already got the best genetics. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So like, not only are you seeing like the best of the best at their angle at the best time, right after they lifted, right after they fasted, all this shit, right? But on top of that, they're photoshopping it too. So it's like, it creates kind of like this crazy reality of like what people expect. You see this with women a lot. Like, women think, like, you'll see a chick that's like a pretty average chick and she'll be like, oh, I want a guy that's, you know, makes $1 million a year, that's 6 foot, that's got an 8-inch dick, that's this, that's that, that's funny, that's this, you know, it's like, damn, that's a strong lift. Like, how many people do you think are gonna fit that description? Why do you think you deserve that? You know, so it's just like a weird thing, but I think guys have fallen into it, I think girls have fallen into it, and I think you get addicted to like this dopamine hit. I mean, they've proven it. It's like, this is, you know, intermittent positive reinforcement. It's no different than gambling or fucking any of this other stuff. Like, you see it. It's like, it works. It's a technology. I mean, you know, they implement it because it works. And you see it, you know, lab rats have done studies, right? So when you have this and you have it at the tip of your fingertips, I mean, I think this causes anxiety. I think it causes like so many problems. You're getting this like massive stimulus and it's at your fingertips all the time. And then you put the phone down, having a conversation with your buddies or just chilling, and it's like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, you need all this stimulus, you're used to all this stimulus, and it's like, it's hard to relax because like your mind is going, you know?